Intelexx here, and welcome to Intelexx, a place for entrepreneurs podcast, the podcast for Intelexx Artrepreneur Agency, the Indeed for Artists. And just like that, season 3 is a wrap. If you want to catch up on all of our seasons, make sure to check us out on Anchor, Spotify, YouTube, and so much more, because we have had so many amazing episodes, so many amazing entrepreneurs, so much advice on different books you can read, different influential people that you can look up, resources, and so much more. If you are interested in becoming a part of our podcast as a feature, definitely connect with us, because we have so much in store for you. So sit back, relax, and tune in to today's episode. Hello and welcome back to Intelexx, a place for entrepreneurs podcast. We are in season 4. Thank you so much for your love and support, for pouring into us so that we can pour right back into you. All right, so we are going to jump right on in to this month's topic, okay? One of our topics. All right, so this is season 4, episode 3, and we are going to be discussing monetizing your craft. So a lot of us are in business. We love what we do, but we might be in a place where we are stuck. We're at an impasse as to how to get from point A to point B, from doing what you love and working on it, striving, trying to live out your best life, but having a cap on actually monetizing it and allowing your gift to work for you. So we're going to go into all of that today. All right, just a couple of announcements. Showcase Your Talent Show will be the last Sunday of the month. Okay, shout out to last month's winners. All right, it was our 3-year anniversary. I hope that you all enjoyed yourself. Shout out to all of you who tuned in, supported, shared your art. We love and appreciate you here at Intelexx and at Official Rhythm and Grooves. All right, shout out to you, Erica, as well. All right, we have so much going on, but if you would like to get assistance, if you need any help with your art, if you need help monetizing your crafts, connect with us. Go to Intelexx.com. Get a free consultation, book a consultation with us, subscribe to our email list, it's free $99, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Shout out to all the YouTubers watching right now, kudos to you, and download our app, the Artrepreneurs Hub. But we'll get into those details a little bit later. We are going to jump right into what we've got going on today. All right, so a lot of times we know why we want to do something, but we don't know how to get it done. What are some ways to do that? So we're going to listen in on how we can do that, some actionable steps and some things that you can do today that can help you to monetize your craft. So let's check this out.
Hello, what's up everyone? If you're new here, welcome. I'm Chardonnay. I'm a podcaster, videographer, and creative entrepreneur. And today I'm going to be talking about how to monetize your craft. I think this video will be helpful for anyone who runs a skill-based creative business. This will give you an idea of some places to start branching out to advertise the services you offer. I think this will also be helpful for creative entrepreneurs who are introverts, or for those of you who have not yet built the momentum, skill set, or business acumen to self-promote and market your craft or services. Personally, when I first moved to a new city as a freelancer with no job or professional connections to people within my industry, I gained all of my clients through word of mouth and simply through networking. However, I know networking looks a little bit different these days, and I want to share some ideas on ways you can put yourself out there and start monetizing your craft. This is more for those creatives who are just like, where do I even start? Especially if you're the type that is not interested in promoting on TikTok or Instagram. Don't worry, it's all good. I see you, okay? So let's get into it. So my first recommendation is use existing marketplaces. I said this in a previous video where I talked about the process of building my website, but I'll elaborate a bit more here. It's 2023, and moving forward, there's basically an app for almost everything. In the same way, there's an app where you can rent your car out to make money, whether it's through Turo, Uber, Lyft, Get Around, whatever the case may be. Apply that same mindset or energy to your craft. Look up all the major apps or companies that have developed an app or website specifically for you, the creator, to monetize your craft. To name a few, there's Etsy, Fiverr, Honeybook, and Airbnb also offers experiences. I think that Airbnb experiences is a unique way to figure out how can you package your creative skill or service and turn it into an experience and market your craft and monetize it. And there are a ton of other platforms out there. Most of these platforms have been around for some time now, and they have made it simple for you to create a profile and attract clients. There are already people utilizing these existing websites, apps, and marketplaces, and because these are backed by major companies, they have already done a bit of the heavy lifting for you to attract the people who are searching for whatever it is that you make. You just have to sign up and make yourself stand out amongst the rest of the people within your industry. In some cases, you don't even have to stand out. All you have to do is create the profile, share a few images and description of what you offer, connect your bank account, and wait for the clients and moolah to start rolling in. Now, you obviously have to be good at what you offer to keep the clients coming back and to get good reviews, but that's a different video. Don't sleep on places like Facebook Marketplace and even Craigslist. I know some sites can seem a little suspect, but use your best judgment when conducting business transactions. If it feels weird or sounds weird, then trust your gut, but try out the platform that's easiest for you to navigate first, because you're more likely to stick with it and keep up with something that's easy for you to navigate and manage. My second recommendation is expand on the types of services you offer. This is your moment to shine as a creative. This is your chance to think outside of the box about the different types of services and products you offer, and think of alternative ways to package the craft or skill you offer. So for an example, I'm a videographer, and let's say I wanted to branch out into creating digital products so I'm not always relying on bookings or wearing myself out with back-to-back video shoots. I could create custom LUT packs to sell. I could create digital download templates for videographers to download and have contracts for their own business on Etsy. I could also make one-sheet downloads for different ways people can pose or prep for video or photo shoots. I could also create apparel with catchy phrases and terms that offer videographers or content creators would like to wear. When you get creative and start to think of ways you can repackage some of the things you already offer, you do two things. One, you create another stream of revenue for yourself, and two, it's a way to passively market your business because, again, keep in mind, it's 2023. Most people do a little bit more internet digging and research on people and brands. I've personally even noticed within myself that if I'm purchasing something for the crib or find myself decorating my home and a lot of the items are made by the same person, then I'll do a quick Google search and check out the other products the person makes or sells. So keep that in mind as you branch out to other platforms and expand your services. Also, if you have any ideas or recommendations that I didn't mention already or other ways to expand my small business as a freelance videographer, don't be stingy. Drop the details in the comments below. Something I'm personally planning to explore to expand my business is Patreon. which this leads me to my last recommendation on how to make money by making art. Launch a Patreon. Patreon can easily be one of the marketplaces I mentioned earlier because it's a site designed specifically for creators to monetize their craft and for their audience to support them. I'm placing Patreon in its own category because there are so many different business models and ways you can go about starting one. I'm going to quickly share a couple ways you can approach this, but keep in mind, these are just a few of the many ways you can approach creating a Patreon. So let's say you're an illustrator or a writer, or maybe even someone who knits. Oftentimes, if you create a product or craft, there is some sort of process that went into creating it. So one of the ways you can monetize your art or craft on Patreon is you can show your work in progress or give behind the scene photos or video clips of how you made your art, or show your process for preparing to do your craft, or how you like to source your materials. I've even seen this work well for graphic designers, painters, illustrators, and I think even makeup artists, nail techs, and hairstylists do this as well. It's up to you to figure out what you feel most comfortable sharing. Another route you can take is tell the how behind how you made your art. Maybe there is, I don't know, a funny story you can share about the process, or you can tell the why behind why you decided to paint something a certain way, or why you decided to make whatever craft you're making. You can tell people what was the inspiration behind your craft, or just tell them what are the steps you took that led you to your finished product. There is so many ways you can approach this, and I'm currently in the process of figuring out how I want to launch a Patreon or come up with creative ways to monetize my craft. So that's all I have to share with you all. If you liked this video and you found it helpful, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel, and I'll catch you all in my next video. Bye.
All right. What did y'all think about that? Now, for those of you who tune in to what we have going on here at Intelexx, we have a few different things going on throughout the week. So that might look familiar to some of you, right? But repetition is the mother or father of learning. And so one way to get it all in, to soak it all in, is to hear it more than one time or see it more than one time. Now, let me preface before we jump into this, right? In order for you to monetize your craft, you have to know what your craft is. You have to know who you are and bring you to whatever it is that you're doing in order for you to monetize it. All right, because if you don't fully know yourself, you're only going to go to a certain level, and that level is where you're going to cap yourself off because you're not pouring into you the way that you need to. You need to take time out to really get to know who you are so that you can pour into you the proper way. All right. So I just want to preface that you do have to know yourself first. Don't just jump in and just go at it to try to get money. Now, there are plenty of different avenues that you can go through to make money. You can make money doing anything, but if it's not something that you love, you're going to be miserable doing it. And so figure out what it is that you love and do that, because no matter what, if you are good at it, if you're great at it, if you come with it with the mind of a master, you'll be able to succeed no matter what. The money will come to you. The money will work for you, not the other way around. All right. But that comes with learning who you are and really getting to know you, and that takes time. Okay. As with everything else, success takes time. And in anything that you get fast or quickly will either be taken from you either fast or quickly or slowly, right? So if you take time to actually build up your wealth, you're not going to be quick to get it taken away or spend it fast, right? But if that's how you came across it, more than likely, that's how it's going to remain, right? How you go into something is how it remains. Now, take that with a grain of salt, okay? Separate the meat from the bones, um, because that's not true for every single thing, right? So if it applies, hold on to it, and if it don't, let it fly. All right. And so for me, I am a visual learner. I like to see what I'm getting into. I like to see it visually on paper, however that looks, right? And so a lot of times when it comes to monetizing, we can get the steps. We can get, okay, like Chardonnay said, we can use existing marketplaces. So if you go to a mall and you see the setup for the mall and you post a store in there, you don't have to be the best mall. You can be the store that's in the mall, similar to somebody else, but you remix it so where it looks good for you and it attracts the people that's meant for you, right? And so when people put different things on cars, they're not changing the car, they're just adding their own little spin to it. And in the same way, use what's already there and spruce it up, make it yours. There's an app for almost anything, right? Utilize what you have. She also talks about expanding on the types of services you offer. If you are only offering, let's say, consultation services, add promo services. Or if you create different things, add services that kind of go into how you do it. If you offer classes, create an ebook, offer that. If you do different designing, offer that. There's so many different things you can make customizable services to where they have to get in touch with you first so you can figure out how you can help them. And once you help them, then you'll be able to kind of differentiate, okay, you need this, and this. Let's create a package for you and go on about it that way. You can offer your services or your products or whatever you have at a discounted rate for a short period of time to bring people in. And once you bring them in, then you can work with them to do it however you want. However that looks, get creative with it. We all have creative minds. Some of us tap into it more than others. Some of us don't tap into it at all. Let's tap into that energy this year, all right? And I know this was for 2023, but it still applies for this year. We are in 2024 now already, right? We almost 6 months in. We got to get it together, okay? And so utilize what you have. Expand on what you have. So for an example, here at Intelexx, we provide a lot of services, right? We have web design, we have classes, we have music services, we have arts and crafts services, we have, setup and breakdown services, we have promotional services, and so many other things, right? But we also do customizable packages. So if you need something specific, we can create a package for you geared towards your specific needs. Okay, we have many more services and many more things to offer that is not on the books yet. But once we get to a certain point, they will be added. All right, and so we are giving you all what you need for right now. But once those things get added, you'll have more things that you'll get with our services. All right, you have an opportunity to be promoted. You have an opportunity to have a publicist. You have an opportunity for employment, right? We have a bunch of different things offered. And so if we wanted to switch things up and expand, we can expand on what we already have going on. All right, we can do collaborations. We can offer different things specifically that a lot of our clients have been asking. If it's a consistent theme that people are looking for, add that into your services, expand what you have. But it's not about us as the people who are selling. It's about the consumer. It's about the people that's actually buying what it is that we're selling. We are geared towards them. So figure it out. What they want is key. All right. And something else that she talked about was finding alternative ways to package your craft. So, as I said, ebooks, digital products, offer it in many different ways. It's 2024, okay? A lot of things are tech city, okay? Not everything is old fashioned. There's some people who want it old fashioned. I'm not knocking that. But if you want to be up to date on things and not fall behind, like some stores that had to close down, some businesses that went into bankruptcy, some places, some brands that had to kind of shut it down because of that reason, don't be a part of that circle. All right, stay up to date with the times. You don't have to conform to the times to stay up to date with it. Right? For an example, Wawa. They have it to where you can do self-checkout automated. You don't have to wait for a person. ShopRite, right? Fresh Grocer, a bunch of different stores, okay? They are keeping up with the times. Originally, they were not like that, okay? They kept up with the times, which is why they're popular. Walmart, Chick-fil-A, they've got it to where they got the automated system up there, so if you order something, you can see it on the screen. You don't gotta ask anybody. They're keeping up to date with the times, but they're not changing the core of who they are. So don't change the core of you. Who you are is who you are. What you do is what you do. But customize it to where it's attractive to your core audience. All right. She also talks about launching a Patreon. That's one avenue, right? There's many different ways that you can create and monetize what it is that you do. Patreon is one way, right? If you're on YouTube, it's another way. You can create your own private community, creating your own platform, or honing in on another platform. Apart from Patreon, there's many different ones. Do your research, okay? Look it up. If you want to be a master at what you do, then study the masters, study the best, study the ones who came before you, study those who are doing what it is that you want to do. Study your I'm not going to say idols, but study those that you look up to, your role models, right? How does their process work? What are they doing? How did they monetize? What did they go through? What struggles did they have to overcome? What pain did they have to endure to get to their purpose? All of these things are important when it comes to you monetizing your craft, because you're going to go through some no's. You're going to go through some tests and trials. You're going to go through the valleys, okay? It ain't always going to be hills. You ain't always going to be at the top. You're going to go through a lot before you get to where you want to be successfully, because all of the ones who are wonderful and are walking in their purpose and have big purposes, they done went through some big things. So keep that in mind. The higher up you go, the more you go through. All right. But you have to grow through what you go through. Okay. And so let's look into what it actually looks like to monetize your craft. Let's check it out.
So I made over $6,000 in May, and in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you the 5 income streams that helped me get there. Before we dive into the numbers, I just want to say to begin with that I'm not sharing these to brag or to like flex. I'm just doing this in the interest of transparency. When I was starting out, I literally would have killed for someone to talk about this stuff, and so I wanted to be the change basically that I want to see in the world. And I also know you guys really just appreciate the transparency on this channel, and that's the thing that I want to continue forward as well. So we are in the business dashboard of my Notion workspace. I built this template myself. If you're not new to the channel, you'll know that I love Notion. It is my favorite thing that I have on my computer. I just use it every single day to keep track of literally everything, and I find it really useful. So we're gonna be down here in the revenue streams part of my business dashboard, talking about the income streams that I used this past month. So the first income stream that I wanna talk about is actually YouTube AdSense. So I've been posting on YouTube for 2 years and I'm monetized. I'm finally starting to make some money, and in May I made $1,442.91. Now this is money that I made in May, so that I actually received from Google AdSense. If you don't know, Google AdSense revenue is like 1 month delayed. So if we're actually counting the money that I earned in May, that I actually sort of generated in revenue, that would be $3,529.79. which is significantly higher, but because it has that 1 month delay in terms of payout, the money that I received in May from Google AdSense in my bank account is actually the money that I made in April. Does that make sense? It's a little bit confusing, but that's basically how that works. So I made a little bit under $1,500 in May from Google AdSense, or sorry, I received it. I'm sorry about the terminology. And then for my online shop, I have a couple of products. They're mostly digital. I'm currently in the process of moving cross country, so physical products right now are kind of a no-go, though I do offer that on my Patreon. But for my online shop, I made $1,138. There we go. And on my online shop, you can find things like my workbook, this Notion template, lots of stuff over there if you're interested in like how I organize things basically. But if you want physical products, you'll have to wait until like July or August when I'm finally settled into my new place. So from Patreon, I have a lot of stuff on my Patreon. I genuinely think Patreon is a really great income stream for artists. It can be super helpful. And because YouTube AdSense income, as you saw, as I just mentioned, can be like so wildly fluctuating, it's really important to be able to have income streams that are a little bit more stable, a little more consistent. I tried a new thing on Patreon where I actually started to open some tiers up for like one-on-one mentorship if you like want advice from me or something. All of the spots for that filled up pretty fast, but that's how I was able to scale my income pretty considerably on Patreon in just like a matter of a couple of weeks. And I didn't even like publicize those tiers. They were just a thing that people really wanted, and so I offered that. And I think that kind of product design, like thinking about what do people want from me, how can I give that to them, is a really good way to scale your income as an artist and just in general. So from Patreon, I technically made $451, but Patreon took like 60-ish of that in payment processor and platform fees. So I actually took home $383.11. So the sum of what I've made so far totals to $2,964.02. But because I have an audience here on YouTube, I'm able to take in sponsorships. So in May, I actually wrapped up a long-term 3-month deal in terms of a sponsor, and from that I made $2,250. So that brings us a little bit over 5K. And if you're interested in learning more about sponsorships in general, I highly recommend that you go and listen to my podcast. My co-host and friend Al and I are actually in the process of making a 3-part series on sponsorships for artists on YouTube and social media in general. So I would highly recommend that you check that out and go ahead and subscribe to the podcast channel if you want to learn more about that. But okay, last one. This is freelance stuff. So because I'm an artist and also I have some experience in video production, companies will sometimes reach out to me to do freelance work for them. This can be anything from freelance painting, illustration, consulting, or even freelance video production, basically making a video that I would normally post on YouTube, but I'm instead making for a company. And even just aside from that, I also have video editing experience, which means that I can edit other creators' videos here on YouTube, and I actually have a couple of clients that I do that for. So in May, I made $2,040 from freelance work. So that's essentially, wait, is that right? That can't be right. I'm sorry. This is genuinely totally unscripted. I thought this totaled up to $6,000, but I guess it's 7. Fun little twist for you there. So yeah, that's essentially how much money I made from my business last month. If you are interested in seeing how I was able to scale my income, I have a whole playlist of these income reports that I've made over the past couple of months that you can watch right here. And with that, I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I will see you in the next one. Bye guys.
All right, did you learn anything? Seeing the breakdown definitely helps. All right, so her explaining it and showing it as she went on, she talked about how she can make a good amount of money in a month. That was 1 month, over 7K in 1 month, just by doing things that she's good at. She tapped into what she likes. She tapped into what she loved. She focuses on what the people want. She gives them what they want based on what she knows she can bring to the table. And that's how that came out. All right, she talked about the Notion workspace. She talked about the Google AdSense. Look those things up, right? Do your own research. That's the only way that you're going to get anywhere. All right, so if you would like assistance with helping to monetize your craft and getting you to the next level in your creative journey, go to Intelexx.com, click on book a consultation, subscribe to our email list. It's free $99, so you can stay up to date on all things that we have going on here at Intelexx. And join our app, the Artrepreneurs Hub. If you search the Mighty Networks in your app or Play Store, create an account. Once you get finished creating that account, look us up, the Artrepreneurs Hub, and we are right there. We are an intellectual community, and we help assist you. We give you everything that you need on your creative journey. All right. And so when you are ready, you can join us. We do have member fees as well. So if you are already a member, a VIP, very important artistic person, you will have all-inclusive perks and all-inclusive access to the Artrepreneurs Hub, because there's only certain portions of our app that are for our VIP. All right. And so continue to connect with us so that we can help you be your best self and promote you and your unique artistry. And we do that to the best of our ability. All right. And so when it comes to monetizing your craft, it is very simple. Learn who you are first. Do what you love. The money will come. But these are some resources that you can use to help you level up in your art while you are learning more about yourself. All right. Now, we don't leave any episode without doing one of my favorite parts of the episode, which is our gem drop. That's right, our gem drop. Listen, something that we want you to pick up to use for later is do the work. Okay, figure out what it is that you love and how you can create a solution to a problem that already exists. Your purpose is a problem solver. All right, so whatever problem that irritates you the most, whatever it is that you don't like, or whatever it is you're most passionate about, that is something that you are going to have to solve in your purpose. All right, so keep that in mind. Focus on how you can be your best self. Don't chase the money, chase your dreams, chase your purpose, because in that you'll be able to find who you are. All right, and with that, we will close it off for this month. Stay tuned for next month to see what our next episode will be. You'll be in for a treat. But until next time, I hope you have an amazing day and an awesome rest of your week. Intelexx here, and welcome to Intelexx, a place for entrepreneurs podcast, the podcast for Intelexx Artrepreneur Agency, the Indeed for Artists. Thank you so much for tuning into Season 4's third episode of Intelexx, a place for entrepreneurs. Stay tuned, because our next episode, you are in for a treat, okay? If you are interested in becoming a part of our podcast as a feature, definitely connect with us, because we have so much in store for you. If you want to be a part of the intellectual community, check us out. We have so much going on Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, and everywhere in between. And we even got our own app, okay? So that we can best serve you. All right, we thank you so much for being a part of our vision. You know, we appreciate you. This place would not be the same if it wasn't for you. And we wouldn't be here without all of our amazing subscribers and supporters. Don't forget to sign up for the talent show every month, and someone always leaves with a prize. And don't forget to take advantage of all of our special offers, our events, our merch, our resources, our referrals, because we are here to serve you, okay? And thank you for the love. Until next time. All right, so one last thing before we close it out. We are going to do this month's giveaway. That's right, we started it this season, and our winner for this month is Sister Farah. Shout out to you. You are an amazing artist, a beautiful soul, and we appreciate you for your support and your love. So keep a lookout for your prize this month. Congratulations. Until next time, have an amazing night and an awesome rest of your week.